Do you remember these guys? The Miis? In recent years, it sort of felt like Nintendo's forgotten about them. But what if I told you that they might be coming back bigger than they ever were on the Wii, on the Switch too? And I have 3 reasons why I think this is actually not only just possible, but likely. Also, please subscribe and join my Discord, please. For those of us who have been under a rock for the past 20 years, let me give you a quick lowdown on who the Miis were. Making their debut in the Wii era, the Miis were customizable avatars that represented you in Nintendo games. They were super simple, but completely and totally full of charm. They showed up everywhere, whether it was boxing in the Wii Sports games, or becoming inflated and morbidly obese in the Wii Fit games. Or my personal favorite, seeing the horrifying abominations that haunted the Check Me Out channel. Admit it, you made at least one of these guys. They weren't just avatars, they were your avatars. Whether you made them look like yourself, your grandmother, or some cursed potato with eyes, they added a layer of connection that most games at the time just didn't have. And let's not forget, the Miis weren't just stuck on the Wii. They popped up in the 3DS with things like Street Pass, and on the Wii U with Miiverse, and even on the Switch, buried deep within the settings. Somewhere along the line, Nintendo pushed them into the background, and I think Miis deserve that spotlight again. But is this even possible? Would Nintendo really do this? Is this just me being hopeful? Probably, but I have 3 reasons why I think that this is actually possible. The first reason, Nintendo Switch Online. Right now, one of the consoles that we're waiting on the most to come to Nintendo Switch Online for retro games is the Wii. Another really popular one is the 3DS that we're waiting on as well. But let's just take a look at the Wii for a second. Imagine that it did come back. Would they have a game in NSO for making Miis? Would the Mii channel come back as a game? Or would we just be stuck to going into the settings to create our characters for the Wii games? Or maybe they're just gonna attempt to avoid that problem entirely by not bringing any of the Mii games back. But that's kind of impossible. I mean, imagine the Wii without the Miis. You would lose Wii Sports Resort. You'd lose all the Wii series games, which are really the games that not only sold the most, but are the games that people remember the best. If they're gonna bring back the Wii on Nintendo Switch Online, somehow they're gonna have to make the Miis more prominent than just the settings. So if my theory is correct, and the reason why NSO hasn't added the online consoles, which I made a whole video on, so you should check that one out. Maybe it's because they're waiting on the Miis to come back in a more official capacity to be able to handle the 3DS and the Wii games properly. Moving on to the second reason, let's say that the Nintendo Switch 2's main feature or gimmick is online connectivity. If it is, it's probably pretty likely that they would revive Miiverse or something similar to Miiverse. At a minimum, it would have more features for messaging and engaging with your friends. Things like sharing clips, gameplay experiences, or even party chat systems. We would need profile pictures that would represent us on something similar to Miiverse, right? I think the Miis could step into that role, allowing us to be us in the Nintendo Switch 2 ecosystem without allowing people to, well, upload profile pictures. We can all see where that would be a problem. And do you remember the online playtest thing that's rumored to be some sort of MMO from what we saw in the leaks and videos? What if this has to do with the Miis somehow? What if it's some sort of MMO that would involve the Miis somehow, or something to that effect? And the third reason, which maybe I'm alone in this one, it would bring back so much personality to Nintendo again. I absolutely love the Switch. I think it's a great console, it's super simple, and it gets out of its own way and allows you to play the games. But sometimes, the things that I miss about the 3DS and the Wii was just the menu music. The Miis would be a great way to bring back some personality into the new Nintendo Switch 2. Will Nintendo bringing back the Miis feel like they're going backwards? Like they're trying to revive some old thing that no one really remembers, or just old people remember? I'm 25, I'm not that old, okay? Well, I don't think so. If you noticed, at the tail end of the popularity of the Miis, it started going from games like Wii Sports and Wii Party to games with the Miis in the title, like Miitomo, Miiverse, and even Miitopia. The Miis now can stand on their own apart from the Wii's name, so they could bring back an entire Mii series of new games using just the Mii name. So what would this look like? Well, let's start with the obvious, a revamped Mii Maker. It would have insane customization options. I'm talking new hairstyles, finally, outfits, maybe even custom animations or a deeper emoji-like expression system. I think they would make a focus on making them not as static and try to make them feel even more fun and alive and reacting than normal. Taking it a step further, there could be a new Mii Plaza, a digital hub where your Mii can hang out with your friends' Miis. Maybe they can explore and play minigames passively, similar to the ones we saw in the Street Pass games. Maybe it can sort of be like a Tamagotchi type of thing. It would be like a virtual Nintendo theme park. Keeping in line with the connectivity, Mii's had this special ability to be able to connect generations, especially now. A lot of us would have a blast from the past revisiting the Miis, whereas new players could see it as something new and fresh. It'd be a perfect bridge for Nintendo to bring in even more people into the Switch 2. One more thing to note here is this could be me being totally unable to grow up and just want the Miis to return. So, here's my pitch. The Miis aren't just a relic of the Wii era. And in a world where online gaming can sometimes feel disconnected, the Miis could be a perfect way to bring it back together with the new Switch 2 online connectivity features. So what do you guys think? Am I way off base? Am I losing my brain? So thank you guys so much for your support. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.